Hello everyone and welcome back to Berrow Motors, and today we are doing another car of the week video, and this week it is this very nice 2018 BMW X1. It's the 2-litre diesel engine, it's the X-Drive of course, so it's 4-wheel drive, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous in this white colour. And the camera is probably not going to do it justice because it's got a real pearlescent mother of pearl look to it. It's a bit more dynamic than just having a standard white paint. On top of that, it's got the M Sport package, so it's got these really nice alloy wheels. I actually really like the look of these. I don't know whether you'd consider them like a snowflake wheel or what, but I just think they suit the car really well. This looks like a really modern, very nice little crossover SUV. Features worth pointing out: on the outside, we've got a great set of tyres on here, loads of tread. We have got aftermarket wind deflectors, whether you like those or not. If you don't, we'll take them off. But basically, if you've got your window down a little bit for a bit of airflow, it's going to stop it buffeting in the cab for you. Then we've got privacy glass on the back, so it's nice and blacked out in the back. Great for if you've got kids in there and you don't want to get them too hot, or if you're chauffeuring celebrities around and they don't want to be spotted. Great in either case. We have got a power electric boot, which we can do on the button on the boot, or by the press of a button on your key fob. I absolutely love power boots like this. Some people seem to think that they're unnecessary, but actually I feel like if you're going up to your car with all your shopping and you want to be able to get in there nice and easy, that is very handy because I've always got my hands full. We've got a nice boot liner in here as well, so you're going to be protecting your carpets in there with all your stuff. You can put your rear seats down by the flick of a button in here, so that's quite handy. And what I absolutely love is you can either press the button on here to shut the boot, or hold the button on your key and it will close as well. So if you're taking all your shopping inside and your hands are all full, you can do it from inside. I absolutely love that feature. That's it, I suppose, for the outside, other than the way it looks, which I think is great. You have to ignore the number plate. This will be going back to a standard plate, which is why we've left this number plate on here, which looks a little bit ugly. It will be going back to a date correct. It's actually a 2019. I thought it was an 18, but it's a 2019. So let's have a look inside. Worth pointing out, we have got 2 sets of keys, which is always nice to have. Great history with this car as well, and it's currently on 63,300 and something miles, so not high at all. We've got our absolutely lovely black leather interior. It's kind of perforated in here. Of course, they're heated, and you've got pretty much every feature you could possibly want in here. An amazing sound system. You've even got a switch here to do your boot. Look at that. This makes boot opening a breeze in this car. We've got a really nice sport style steering wheel. We've got the flappy paddles as well. You've got your satellite navigation. You've got your Bluetooth connectivity. It's an automatic as well, which is the all essential for these days. Most people don't want to be operating a clutch if they don't have to. Got absolutely tons of storage bins in here, cup holders, cigarette lighters. It comes with hill assist. It's got automatic lights, automatic wipers. It's got cruise control, of course, and it just, yeah, it's very nice in here. We've got piano black inserts in here, so it's just a very kind of classic, maybe a little minimalist, but it's certainly not offensive in here. It's just very nice indeed. And then we have got a full set of rubber mats in here as well, which is very handy, especially if you've got kids. Talking to kids, we'll have a quick look in the back. You got plenty of room for a couple of kids in there, adults, even slightly larger ones like me. Plenty of legroom and headroom, actually. We have got a centre armrest with cup holders, so you can have 2 people incredibly comfortable. Or at a squeeze, you might get 3 of me in here. We wouldn't be very happy about it, to be completely honest with you, but we probably would fit. And then you've got all your air vents in the back, and you've even got 2 USB-C outlets in here. So if you have got teenage age children, or even me, I'd be very happy having USB-Cs in the back. So that's all I can think to tell you about this car on the outside. So let's hop on it, we'll take it for a spin, and I'll let you know how it drives. Now, despite these probably not having that much more room inside of them than, say, a 3 Series saloon, I can understand the appeal because, to be fair, it does feel airier in here. You've got a much higher roof line on this, and you've got that slightly higher seating position on the road, so it definitely gives you some kind of confidence. You know, you feel in quite a commanding position. You feel like you can see a little bit better over the hedges. but it's still just completely unthreatening to drive. Really nice and easy, light steering. It's 188 brake horsepower, so it really does whip along. And in fact, I think these 2-litre diesel engines on these BMWs, although some will try and scare you off because of timing chain issues and things like that, they're actually probably one of the best engines in recent times, in my opinion. You're not going to have to worry about timing chain issues with this due to the age and mileage. It becomes an issue when they're much higher mileage and you haven't done the servicing, but that's not an issue here. But in return for what might put you off with the idea of those potential timing chain issues is incredible MPG. We're talking 66, maybe nearly 70 miles per gallon on a motorway run with this. It's only £190 a year to tax, and as I say, it's 188 brake horsepower, so it really does feel nippy. For most people, it is far more power than you are ever going to need, and again, it's going to fill you with confidence in a car that feels light and easy to manoeuvre. But if you ever feel like you want to get your foot down and get yourself out of a situation, you have got more than enough power to do that. And on top of that, in comparison to, say, some of a competitive engine from, say, Mercedes, the 2.1, I feel like this is far more refined. It feels much smoother. It's paired with a much better automatic gearbox. And the Mercedes, for example, has just got a very agricultural sound to it. Turn around here, and manoeuvrability is incredibly easy. That's a really tight turning circle for what is an SUV. And if we get our foot down, it really picks up. And the way these diesel engines these days rev, it's like you're in a petrol car anyway, really. If you're into your gizmos and gadgets, you've got all your different driving modes, so you can go all the way from Eco Pro into normal or comfort, I assume it is. In fact, I'll go through and I'll tell you now. We've got efficient dynamics. We've got Eco Pro, Comfort, Sport, and it doesn't look like you have Sports Plus on this, which you would do in the saloons, but that's probably because why would you really want Sports Plus in that? That would normally turn off all your traction control and things like that. You're in a 4x4 car, you probably don't want to be turning off your traction control and doing power slides and things like that. That's probably not what you're wanting to do if you're buying this car. For a car with big alloy wheels and thin, kind of low profile tyres, road and cabin noise is pretty good. Probably the fact the loudest thing is these wind deflectors on here, which seem to be catching the wind. So that's going to be a personal preference thing, whether you really feel like having the wind deflectors keeps the wind out of the cab enough for you to make it a benefit over the sound of it catching the wind. I think for me personally, I would take them off, but I mean, in this case, we'll leave them on because someone may love them. They may love the look of them, and it's as simple as winding down the window and kind of pulling them out, so it's not the end of the world anyway. As you'd expect, you've got a very good quality sound system. One gripe, not that it's much of a gripe, but I would have preferred to see probably a bigger infotainment screen in the middle here, and I know I'm probably in the minority because a lot of people don't like these infotainment screens, and maybe it's just because of this feels like a bigger area car. It feels a little bit lost on the dashboard for my personal taste. But that said, the screen that you do have, which must be probably a 10-inch screen, is very crisp, very modern looking and very bright. So the sat nav that I'm looking at the moment is very sharp and very nice to look at. And being a 2019 model, it's going to be reasonably well up to date. So that's the type of system that I would actually trust to use for a journey. Visibility is actually really good. So when you're pulling out of junctions like that, these A-pillars aren't really in a bad position at all, and I don't feel like they're obstructing your view. You've actually got a huge windscreen. Feels like you've got plenty of view ahead. Nice big rear windscreen. Side windows are all positioned nicely as well, so if you're looking over your shoulder whether you were going to pull out of a junction, again, it's giving you plenty of confidence that you are going to be plenty safe in this car. Generally speaking, my experience has been that you can expect BMWs to be a little bit firmer on the road than perhaps a Mercedes or Audi would be. They tend to want to keep that sportier feel to them. But this actually, although I would say, probably feels like it handles and keeps its body roll under control a bit better than an Audi would. It's actually not uncomfortable at all. We're going along one of the very bumpy roads around here in Berrow-on-Sea, and it feels very comfortable. It's not rattling my tooth fillings out. You can feel the road, you feel very connected to the road, but it's definitely doing a good job of soaking it up, which in my personal opinion is exactly what you want in a car like this. You don't want to feel something that feels like a race car. You might want to feel like you're able to handle the country roads quite well, but you still want to feel comfortable and well cushioned, and luckily we do seem to have that. I think the majority of the finishes in here feel very nice. The piano black inserts all look nice. Your steering wheel feels very modern. It's really nicely contoured. You've got a nice leather on there. It's a nice thing to hold on to, which is just as well because you're going to be holding on to it the entire time you're driving. Some of the interior finishes, you know, potentially not the best, but I mean, I say that, they're not bad at all, really, in comparison to what actual bad interior finishes are. They're on the premium end of cheaper finishes, let's say. But I think, you know, I'm being fussy. To most people, they're going to be more than adequate. And the good news is, it's made by BMW. We're not hearing a load of things rattling around like you would do in a lot of other cars. It does feel really well built. But generally speaking, I genuinely think the best feature of this car is this 2-litre diesel engine and the automatic gearbox. They're just a perfect pair. You know, it's got everything covered really. Whether you want to be driving sportily, you can. If you want to drive comfortably and economically, you can. And if you just want to don't think about it at all, it's going to change through the gears really smoothly, just without you even noticing really. So I think that definitely is probably the best feature of this car. So that will be it for this Car of the Week review. The link to this car will be in the description if you want to see it on our website, berrowmotors.co.uk, where you can see all of the pictures and probably all the information that I've forgotten to tell you. If you're looking to sell a car like this, ideally under 10 years old, under 100,000 miles, then you can head to our car buying website, carsportformore.com, where we will try and offer you one of the most competitive prices going, and we can even come and collect it from you, saving you a lot of hassle when it comes to selling your car. Just going to make use of the very good turning circle and our parking aid that we have on the screen here. That gives us a visual representation of everything that is around us, as well as our parking sensors. Well, I remind you to please like the video if you've enjoyed it, and if you have, then it's well worth subscribing. It's free to do. There'll be one of these videos every week, as well as every 2 weeks we walk around the entire forecourt and show you every car that we have in stock and give you my opinions on them. I will link the most recent one in the description as well. That is it this time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.